Aloha everyone. So today I just wanted to come on here to talk about a shift in mindset that I had and regarding the shape of the earth. And I don't want to call myself a flat earth conspiracy theorist, but at this point I'm pretty sure, I'm more than sure that we are under a dome. That's the firmament. There's water above us, water below us, and the earth is flat. It's a circular plane that has a dome over it, because the Bible even spoke about this. And we have the sun and the moon that is closest to us controlling the simulation in the dome. And then all the ancient people also talked about this, so you got to go back to what they were saying, because they definitely knew more than us right now. But we're getting back there, and that's the thing. Just a thought, you know how fish don't know what's outside of water, like what life is outside of water? That's like how it is with the waters above. Well, I personally think that it's the same kind of water, because water has a consciousness that's way older than this planet. So, and also in ancient times, like the Bible, they talk about the great floods that happened, and there was a time when people were literally able to breathe underwater. And if you think about it, all air is just a less dense version of water. So as water beings, we gotta connect with the higher consciousness, the waters above, to actually exit, to get out of this matrix and not get sucked into the false light. Because everybody's like, oh, when you die, people are like, you should go towards the light. But I honestly think that is a new age deception to get you to be recycled and to come back here again. Because, we come from darkness, and everything began from the void and the womb. And the light is not the truth, because Lucifer is the bringer of light. So the light is what creates this reality, the matrix, but it's also the biggest deception, because I don't know, I just feel like the ancient Egyptians, in the afterlife, you go on a boat in the water to go meet Anubis, who weighs your heart with the feather, right? And is your heart from this lifetime lighter than a feather? That determines whether or not you come back this time around. So emotional baggage has a weight on the heart, and water is dealing with emotions. So subconscious is what is really creating everything. And subconscious is dark, yin, and conscious is light, masculine. So, it's really the way of water, returning into the water element, returning to the yin principle, because that's what ascending is. It's returning. It's going back up on the spiral. So the ice wall in Antarctica is like the outside part of it, and then there's a reason why, like, there's an Antarctica treaty where all the countries agree that they're not going to go there, because what's on the other side of the ice wall? No human has ever been. I mean, there's people that have been, just like inner Earth, but they don't want people to know about it for a specific reason, because it's the truth. And they can only keep the truth away for so long, because it's all in our faces at this point, and we get to decide whether or not we want to see it. So people who took the jab are at a point where, I don't know, especially when it comes to family, but we came here for a different reason. We're not really from this earth, so the biological ancestry that you chose for your avatar is more like certain traumas that you're best equipped to clear and resolve in this lifetime for the ancestral lineage. And there are certain things that from past lives we all have, and so you're definitely not limited to just that. That's why whenever people ask me what my ethnicity is, I don't tell people, because it's none of your business. And that's like a very personal question. So I don't identify with it, because I don't put myself in a box. I'm not limited to what my parents' racial, ethnic background is. And, on a spiritual level, that this is actually something that dates back to ancient times, because even the extraterrestrials have different variations. And same with like the gender wars, with what they're really pushing right now in today's propaganda, man versus woman. It goes back to ancient Atlantis and Lemuria, because Lemuria was the feminine. They were the right brain dominant, lived in tune with the water and the earth. Tiamat, Mother Tiamat, is the original name of the earth. And then Atlanteans came from who knows where. And they brought that Martian energy here. They came from Mars. And they pretty much blew up the civilization when they came here. And this is all ancient history that is written in the Akashic records. So certain things like I learned from spirit science back in the day. And then, take it with a grain of salt. You never really know what's really real until it's something you experience. And with the Akashic records, it's really not that hard to realize what the ether is saying. I mean, I know that sounds really new agey and stuff, but yeah, it's an etheric library where your mind is able to access it because, your thought is what is creating this whole dream, and the simulation is what is keeping the mind trapped within certain limitations. And people who aren't able to snap out of the illusion, the matrix that we've been born into from indoctrinated and being in schools and, going to work and all this job and money, what we need to survive. When you get people in survival mode, that's how you get them to do anything. That's what COVID and the whole thing proved. When it comes to Christmas, I don't celebrate it anymore. So Christ is Horus, the son of God, the son of Ra, and on the winter solstice is when the sun pauses in the sky for 3 days. So this is the metaphorical Christ in the Bible when it talks about the death of Christ. Well, it actually happened. Christ was an actual person, but so what happened was Christ was crucified and then he died for 3 days and then he came back to life. Hold on, there's cops. And Christmas there's a reason why I don't celebrate it, because Christ is your consciousness. Mass is the death of the Christ consciousness. And then it's actually a pagan so-called Saturnalian ritual, which is Saturn is Satan, right? And Santa sounds like Satan. Why do you think? And people are just talking about the Christmas spirit. Who do you think the Christmas spirit is? So yeah, this is all relevant to astrology too, because Capricorn is all about traditions and values, and that's when everybody is doing certain things because their family pushes them to do it, but it's all energy harvesting. People who are going out Christmas shopping, buying gifts, going outside their budget and whatever, that's all part of it. The economy, everything, inflation not going down because everybody just keeps spending. So basically he resurrected on the 3rd day like the sun in the sky. So on the winter solstice on the 24th is the day that Christ arises from the dead. And it's definitely just a huge portal and a pivot point, shifting into the darkness, the yin energy, and we in the middle of it. That's what the winter solstice is. The starting point of that was the fall equinox, which is also, if we're talking about timeline, the fall of Atlantis. That energy from, everything happens in cycles, and there's larger cycles and smaller cycles, but they all mirror each other because we're on a spiral. So yeah, that's all I wanted to share today. I hope you have a beautiful day. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and happy solstice. Peace.